The pressure surrounding the Green Bay Packers has been building for weeks, and the atmosphere around the franchise feels heavier with every passing game. As questions grow louder about the future of head coach Matt LaFleur and the trajectory of the team under his leadership within the fan base and across every corner of the football world, there is a constant debate about whether LaFleur can still steer this team towards success, or whether the recent offensive struggles are warning signs that something deeper may be unraveling. The Packers' offense has stumbled and staggered in ways that have left many observers frustrated and eager to assign blame, while the defense has performed at a level that has kept the season afloat. When a team begins to fracture even slightly, the outside noise grows into a storm, and the talk of hot seats and coaching changes becomes almost impossible to avoid. Yet in the middle of that storm, one voice from within the organization rose above the chaos and offered a perspective that challenged the prevailing narrative. Defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley, who has transformed the Packers defense into an aggressive, disciplined, and resilient unit, delivered a powerful message that cut through speculation and planted a firm stake in the ground. The Packers had just held the Philadelphia Eagles, one of the most dynamic offenses in the league, to a mere 10 points of feat that demanded attention and respect. Hafley could have expressed frustration with the offense or hinted at internal tensions, but instead he offered unwavering support for his head coach. He declared his belief in the offense, his belief in the coaching staff, and specifically his belief in Matt LaFleur, a belief that served as both a public endorsement and a subtle reminder that the season is far from over. Hafley's statement was not simply an answer to a reporter's question. It was a deliberate declaration of loyalty and confidence, meant to shift the focus away from panic and toward perspective. He acknowledged the challenges but insisted that LaFleur remains one of the best head coaches in the NFL, as well as one of the best play callers. A heavy claim delivered with absolute certainty. The significance of that moment stretches beyond a single quote. It stands as a turning point in the story of the Packers season, a moment when the narrative could either drift toward collapse or rally around resilience. Hafley knows the weight of his words, and he also understands that the upcoming stretch of games will determine how history remembers this period in Packers football. The next opponent on the schedule, the New York Giants, presents a crucial opportunity. A team with dangerous pass rushers, but a run defense that has been among the worst in the league, allowing over 152 rushing yards per game. Their defensive metrics paint a picture of vulnerability, especially on the ground, and opponents have scored more than 27 points per contest against them. This matchup offers a chance for the Packers to rediscover their identity on offense. A chance to prove that the early season output, where they averaged 276 points in their first 7 games, was not a fluke, but a foundation that can be rebuilt. However, if they fail to do so, if the offense remains stagnant and the problems continue to compound, then the pressure on LaFleur will surge to levels the franchise has not experienced in years. That is where the real suspense begins, because every drive, every decision, and every adjustment from this moment forward becomes a chapter in a story that could define the future of the organization. The recent losses, especially against the Carolina Panthers, where the offense was effectively neutralized, have amplified the urgency surrounding the situation. LaFleur has shown adaptability in the past, crafting creative solutions under difficult circumstances, including last season, when he adjusted the entire offensive approach to accommodate Malik Willis in emergency starts. That history of adaptability is part of what gives Hafley reason to stand behind him. But the NFL is a league where past achievements fade quickly, and where every week presents a new test with stakes that can shift the trajectory of a season or a career. As the Packers enter the final 8 games, the tension feels almost cinematic. Each game builds upon the last, and the sense of anticipation grows thicker with every question about whether the offense can regain its rhythm, whether LaFleur can unlock the potential that once seemed within reach, and whether this team can transform uncertainty into momentum. Hafley's endorsement adds both support and pressure, because it places renewed focus on LaFleur's ability to respond and rise to the moment. The true intrigue now lies in the unfolding of this story. If the Packers seize this chance and rebuild their offensive identity, LaFleur can silence the whispers and reclaim control of the narrative. But if the Giants' defense shuts them down, if the problems persist, and if the offense fails to find answers, then the storm surrounding Green Bay will intensify, and the hot seat talk will return louder than ever. There are 8 games left, 8 opportunities, 8 turning points waiting to be written. Matt LaFleur has time to reshape the season, but the clock is ticking, and every decision from this point forward carries weight. The Packers are standing on the edge of possibility and uncertainty, and the next steps will determine which direction this story goes. The endorsements have been spoken, the challenges have been set, and now all that remains is to watch the next chapter unfold in real time until the very last seconds.